play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes, get white out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. I'm your host, Iceman the Eskimo. And y'all know what I came here for. Y'all know we got 4 days left until the lottery. We on the countdown, heavy Nets fans. Are you excited? Are you excited, Nets fans? Nets fans. Whoa, Nets fans. I wasn't trying to make it sound like Knicks. We definitely ain't no Knicks fans. Nets fans. Nets, Brooklyn, Nets fans. Are you excited? Let me know something. Well, I got a little bit of information for y'all today. Not too much though, you know, other than the playoffs. We out of the playoffs. We sitting. We trying to figure out this draft thing. The Nets organization putting out videos of them talking about this draft. This draft only comes around once in a lifetime, and they got to get it right. But now, Brooklyn Nets fans, what is Sean talking about? That's the question. What is, and if y'all have an answer, you already know. Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments section. If y'all have an answer on how the Brooklyn Nets can get this draft right, leave it in the comment section. Right? But I'm gonna say what I think, and I've been saying it before. Y'all know, I be I be on my I be on my scouting. You heard? I ain't the best scouter, but I'm a good scouter. You know what I mean? I know what the team needs. You heard? And it all on how you draft, right? Who you draft, what's necessary for the team, what's best for the team. You heard? So y'all already know there's players. And even when I go on Breezy, shout out the Big Fan Breezy podcast. Hey, and another thing before I move on, come follow me on TikTok. My TikTok lives have been blowing up. I've been getting messages from TikTok saying they love your content. You're one of the, you know what I'm saying? Your lives are going crazy right now. Come over. Join. I mean, it's a lot of playoff fans in there right now. There's still a lot of net fans that pop up. Come over and see what's going on. I don't go a lot live on YouTube. I'm gonna try to go live on YouTube sometimes too. But at the same time, my lives and my content is growing heavy on TikTok for whatever reason. It is blowing up over there. You know what I mean? 50 plus followers a day or close to it. Yeah, I'm on a rise over there. So come follow. But anyways, how could they get this right? Right? And the question is, who has who has the best mock draft? Does the NBA.com have the best mock draft? Who has the best mock draft? Because I need to know and I need to see where these players are ranked at, right? Because every ranking is different. Other than Coop, Flag, Dylan, other than Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, VJ, like those are usually the same in everybody's draft, around the same. Or VJ and Ace's mismatch, 3 and 4, whatever. But once you get past that, everybody else is flip flop, moved around, all that, right? So I need to see because that determines how the Brooklyn Nets draft and who they draft. I've been doing a lot of mock drafts, and it all depends on the um the mock draft I use, right? Who's mock draft players in what order depends on who you draft first, who comes off the board, who comes off later. It's a mess. You heard? It's a mess. But how can they nail the draft? Well, I'm gonna tell you how they can nail the draft. You heard? First of all, first of all, any of the top 8 players, they get any of the top 8 players, we are good. That's all I'm saying. If we happen to drop down to 9, which I don't think we will, then man, I got some questions. Maybe the rebuild may take longer. They may have to go free agents like they will anyways. But what I'm saying is, if you got a top 8 play, you got somebody to build around. I'm gonna name my top 8, not the top 8, but my top 8: Cooper, Dylan, Ace, VJ, Trey, Kamon, Fairs, Queen. Right? I think if you get any one of those, you will be all right. I'm not saying everybody's a franchise guy. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, as far as building a quality team, you get any one of those guys, you are all right. You're fine. All right. Now, I'm not gonna say who, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say who my franchise guy is, but I'm just saying, if you get one of those guys, you're good in the top 8. Remember, I said that. Con Knuckle is not in my top 8. Some people do have Con going in the top 5. Some people got Trey and Fears going in the top 4. I'm just saying, like, some of the draft ranges are crazy, but players could go, and it all depends, man. It all depends on where we land and who we draft, right? But I'm saying, if you get a top 8, you're fine. We are fine. Not you're fine. We are fine, right? And before I move on, let me pull this up real quick about how the Brooklyn Nets be scouting before I go on to the next section. Right? Right. So in that video they talked about, they said that they had scouts. So one of the scouts that's been working for them, Eddie Oran, who's been with the organization for about 17 years. He was a Texas Longhorn assistant early in his career, right? And it said in the article that Nets Daily put out that he's seen every Trey Johnson game, right? Every Trey Johnson game that has appeared, he has seen every Trey Johnson's game. Now, with that being said, right, they had eyes on Trey. And like I said, top 8. Don't be surprised if we land and they pick up Trey because they had somebody scouting them. I'm not saying because they had somebody scouting them that we're going to draft them. Just know that if eyes was on Trey the whole time and we land in a certain spot and Trey is available, he may just get picked up. You heard? Which I don't mind Trey Johnson. Trey, I don't mind you on the team, brother. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So this just tells you a little bit about who, I mean, really, that one right there, some real inside notes about who had eyes on Trey. We know they've been at Rutgers. We know they've been at Texas. I know they've been at Australia. And there's another one I didn't pull up, but Alex Tui and Ruko Zayarski, they had eyes on them too. And Tui's the 6'8" small forward, right? Go do your research. Go check out Alex Tui, see if you like him or not. Alex Tui most likely in the second round, Ruko in the second round. Don't be surprised if we draft one of those guys. Don't be surprised. You heard it from me. Don't be surprised if we draft one of those guys. Right? But all right. So how can the Nets get this draft right? Like I said, first, top 8. Anybody in top 8 that I named, we're all right. We're good. We're team building. You heard? Now, when it gets down to our pick 19, right? It all depends on who's still on the board. It all depends on who's on the board. There's some players that are entering the draft still got combine invitations, and there's some players that are out of the draft that are not participating in the combine. All right. So some of these names have changed. Some are new. I don't have all the new names right now because no one updated their draft boards yet. Not yet. But I'm gonna say, right, it all depends on who's left on the board at 19. And it's not an easy choice to, from 19 to 26, right? And because it all depends. I'm gonna just name my names, not who they trying to give us. Like some of these people they trying to give us, I'm like, nah, bro. Like y'all don't know how to draft. You know what I'm saying? Some of these, I'm gonna let y'all know, some of y'all mock drafts for the Nets is awful. Do not try to mock draft for us, bro. You heard? Do not try to mock draft for us because y'all draftings are awful. My gosh. Okay. So, like I said, it all depends on who left on the board. I don't know if Rasheer Fleming is going to be on the board left. I don't know if Danny Wolf is going to be on the board left, right? Will Riley, Neat Clifford, Carter Bryant. I don't know if they're going to be on the board, but if one of those and they said Noah might go in. Noah Senge might go in the lottery. Tormin Sorber, they really don't have him dropping down that much, but he's at 18. But I'm just saying, right? When it comes to those names that I just named, one of them, you got to pick one of them at 19, right? And then you better hope that one of these guys is still available at 26, which I highly doubt. Right? You grab one. I don't know who's going. Somebody's going to fall. There's going to be a couple players that fall down into the lower draft, into the lower fall down the draft board. I don't know who it is yet. I'm not sure who it is, but somebody or two people might fall down this draft board. But the point I'm making is right. You either get a point guard or a wing starting off. There aren't that many wings and there aren't that many power forwards in the draft. So wings, power forward, right? So right now on Tankathon, they got taking Joan Berger, which I wouldn't take. He's like Kai Jones, basically. He's like a Kai Jones type player. Don't really shoot like that. No, just run and dunk, set screens, block shots. That type player, right? Which is like what we have right now. Don't know if Dayron Sharp is being re-signed at all. You know what I mean? So we going from there. But I would say, right? Like I was saying before, like Danny Wolf is 7 foot, but I don't think he's a center. I think he's a power forward. Yaxel Lindenberg is in the draft. He's a power forward, 6'9", 240. Rasheer, power forward, 6'9", 240. Right? Noah Senge is a small forward, power forward, 6'9", 194. But other than that, in the front, Alex Condon, I'm not a big fan of Alex Condon like that. He can play, he can hoop, but I'm not a big fan. And he's 6'11", power forward slash center, right? That's like four players. That's like four players once you get past 19, right? That's a power forward slash center, or mostly power forward. We don't have a big power. We don't have size on the roster. Fleming, Danny Wolf, and Rasheer have size 240, 240, and Danny Wolf is 250, right? I'm going to say it again. Point guard, wing, center. Point guard, wing, center, right? Point guard, wing, center. I'm not too concerned about the shooting guard, but point guard, wing, center. Those are the main things that the Nets have to get right. If you lose, if you don't resign Daron, you need another center. Clowney can't play center. He's not a center. Um, And like I said, there's two centers that I know that the Nets scouted. Max Raynard, who may go in the bottom of the first round, will be a good pickup, or Ryan Kalkbrenner, right? Those are the main centers, and they're older. So you want one, you got to get one of those centers. You got to get one. You got to get a center in this draft. You know what I'm saying? Which one you choose, it depends. You know what I mean? It all depends. I don't mind either one. You know what I mean? I think it's I think you draft depending on who you pick on, who you draft before them. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is you choose one of those depending on the players that you get before that, and you pick what style of player you want. Kalkbrenner, shot blocker. Raynard, score and rebounder. You know what I mean? He can block shots too, but that's not, you know what I mean? That's not his main thing. But like I said, it's gonna be a difficult draft depending on where these players land at, right? But like I said, point guard, wings, point guard, power forward, center, wing. We need all of it. But it's just what player are the Brooklyn Nets are interested in getting? Who is that player that they're interested in getting? Especially I'm not worried about the top 8. Everybody's saying we got to get, you know what I'm saying, top 3. I'm not worried about the top 3. It's the guys that come after the top 3, right? Because those fill out the roster, and I do still believe the Nets need to use all 5 picks. And if they don't use all 5 picks, that means, you know what I mean? Like, then I'll still say top 8, but then your picks, you gotta get a power forward, you gotta get a center, and you can get a shooting guard or a point guard. You know what I mean? Like, it all depends on who's on the board. But you can switch it up if they go 4, but the 4 gotta be nice. You know what I mean? The 4 gotta be nice. The 4 players they pick up gotta be nice if they trade in one of these picks. And that means if they trade one of these picks, that means they hit top 3. I believe if they trade a pick, they hit on the top 3, right? And they satisfied with that pick, and they like, all right, we could give up one for next year, or we can give up one to move up and grab another player that they like. If they like Rasheer Fleming or Sorbo or whoever the player is, right? You grab them. I'm gonna say another thing about this, right? This guy, let me see how many shooting guards really on here. In the first round on Tankathon, there aren't that many shooting guards in the first round. But Neat Clifford, listen here, I've been scouting, I've been watching videos, but Neat Clifford, I seen somebody had him as a sleeper in the draft. I don't think Neat Clifford is a sleeper. He's a senior. He's ready to play, plug and play, athletic, rebounds, shoots threes at a high level, can score and pass. I don't think he's a sleeper. And I do think here's my, you know what I'm saying, my my thought process. If you draft Neat Clifford, my guy Tyrese Martin, he's out of here. You know what I mean? He is out of here. Neat Clifford 6'6", same height, could do a little bit more. Makes the right play, has a decent high IQ. I won't say decent. I think he has a high IQ. I think that's something, one, if on the board, depending on who we draft or where we land at, if he's still on the board, I think that's someone you pick up. I'm just saying. It doesn't have to be him, but watching all these mock drafts and people talk about players and sleepers, I know these players. There's been a few that I really like. I don't know too much about, but for the most part, I think I got most of these players down, and I think and I believe he could be a steal in the draft. Carter Bryant could be a steal in the draft. Um, some people think Walter Clayton can be. I'm not sure. I know he plays like Jamal Murray, right? That's my thought. He plays like Jamal Murray, so he could possibly be a decent player coming out of the draft. But steals, Carter Bryant. right? Carter Bryant's a steal. Nick Clifford, steal. And Noah Senge. Y'all know the guys, right? But I think as a shooting guard or power small forward, that Nick Clifford would be a good player in this league, seeing how he plays. He's gonna have to adjust. But I'm telling you, some of these young guys might knock some of these guys off our team. You know what I'm saying? You might have to move some of these older guys off the team. I'm not saying old like Cam Johnson. I'm just saying the ones that have been here before. Um, People like Jalen Wilson might have to. He gonna have to put in work because these young guys coming in, and I like Jalen Wilson. He's a hustle player. You can't just find that type of hustle. But what I'm saying is the skill level that Nick Clifford has. Yeah, man, he can knock somebody off the team, bro. I like y'all know I like Tyrese Martin. So if I say, I'm willing to give up Tyrese, but if I'm telling you Nick Clifford land on his team is bye Tyrese Martin, you know what I'm saying? Or he won't get to play as much because Nick is there. It's the truth. You know what I mean? So they gotta get the picks right. Y'all need to let me know who it is that y'all four players, 5 players. Let me know in the comments who are these players that y'all want the Nets to grab. You know what I mean? I got more players. Like I said, I always got more players. I haven't said anything yet about the other players in the second round that I will pick up. You know what I'm saying? Miles Bird, Isaiah Evans. You know what I mean? Tui is okay. Tyrese Proctor. I think Tyrese Proctor, senior from Duke, 6'6", 6'5" point guard. They say he's a Scottie Pippen Jr. type player. I think he'll be good in the league too. I think he could carve out a little role and do his thing. He shoots pretty well from three. Like those things like that at the back of the draft, and he's in the second round of the draft. I think that's good. Dink Pate, I think will be okay, right? But if you get him and build there's just players, man. There's just players. I don't know who the Nets want to get, but I know who they should draft if they're available. And you know what I mean? Sometimes doing these mock drafts, it can get tricky of who you want and who you want to pick up. But like I said, if they talking about they got to get this draft right, y'all let me know what is getting the draft right in the comments. You heard? Y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like. Y'all don't have to subscribe because I don't know anything. You heard? And I'm out.